So let me close up my chat because it's time for us to start. So, wow, we have a lot of people joining today. The number keeps growing. That's amazing. It's great to see how many people are excited to see all the amazing features that we have and we're going to show here today. Um, so I'll just wait 2 more minutes because I really see that there are a lot of people joining. Um, so let's give everyone a chance to join us and for this next hour to see everything that Monday has been working on. Wow, the number keeps growing and a lot of answers. This is really great that we have people from literally everyone. I think all continents. This is really cool. And just so you know, we are recording this and we are going to send this recording in a couple of days to you. This part where I presented the features, not the Q&A, which is also live. Okay, cool. I think I can start. I want to be respectful of your time. So welcome to our new features webinar. My name is Elisa and I'm a customer experience manager here at monday.com. And I'm very happy to be here with you guys today. My amazing colleagues, Jess and Julia, are also here to help me with the questions that you might have. For the next half an hour or so, I'll go over the most exciting features we have launched this past month and the improvements we made to the existing ones. And please put all the questions that you might have on the Q&A box, and we'll answer as many as we can at the end of them. So please don't use the chat as we are not going to see the questions there. And the audio will be through your computer speakers. So if you can hear or see your screen at any point, please let us know in the chat box. And as I said, you receive the recording of this webinar automatically in the upcoming days. Awesome. And here's our agenda. We are going to talk about sub-item improvements, Kanban improvements, timeline, the amazing Gantt chart view and widget, updates, section improvements, item card app, Bill.it, and also our footers that I didn't add here, but this is something we just finished releasing today, so it's really out of the oven. Cool. So we had so many amazing new features that I had a really hard time figuring them all. Also, as I know that waiting until the next webinar every month to hear about all the amazing features can be hard, so I want to share with you some ways that you can keep up on the launches in between webinars. You should automatically receive our monthly newsletter, the monthly the monthly stand-up, where we announce some of our favorite new features. You can, let me just exit this page. You can also visit our community page and check the announcements category or subscribe to this category so you can get notified in your email whenever a new feature is announced. This is really cool. So let's jump on my use case. I oversee a digital marketing agency, so I have to constantly keep track of my campaigns, clients, and deals. So today we go over how the features monday.com has recently launched can help me with that. So let's start by taking a look at this board, which is where I keep all my projects. They are grouped by clients, and each of item corresponds to a different project this client has with us. I use a people column to see who's responsible for each and a timeline column to define development dates. I also have this mirror column right here that makes the information from my deal, that takes the information from my deal pipeline and reflects the stage of the deal right here. And my deal pipeline board is something that we're going to go over later on. So by having this, I don't have to go to another board to see if this project was already approved or not. On top of that, there are a few other columns that help me plan and track the hours my team spends in this project. Now that you're familiar with my board, I can show you all the improvements we made with the Kanban and timeline views. After that, be ready to be blown away by the totally new Gantt view and board footer. I hope you're as excited as I am. For those of you who like to work in a Kanban style using our Kanban view, we have made some improvements to this feature. Before we dive into them, let me just quickly show you how to add a Kanban view to your board and give you a quick overview of how it works. So You can simply click here, add view and Kanban. And this option, this Kanban option, is great for those seeking a view which is a specific aspect of your project, like a status, is emphasized like this. And if you have been using this already, you might have noticed that we fixed some small bugs and have also made some UI and UX improvements. The information is now displayed more nicely. It's more nicely within the cards, and it is easier to drag the columns as well. We also improved how it works to scroll down on your board and within each columns. Besides, it is now much easier to manage the people who are assigned to each task. Hovering over the picture will open up a people card with information about each person, which is super helpful for big teams. And apart from that, it is now possible to assign someone directly to the card, making the process of working from the Kanban much smoother. There you go. Now let's move to our beloved timeline view. It also receives some attention as we want to make it as intuitive as possible when we are planning your projects. So I can either add a new view or just toggle to this one. There we go. So now changing the dates of items within the timeline itself is much easier because by dragging and dropping, we can still see the original dates right here. So you don't lose context or forget what they were in case you make a mistake. The revamp also includes a more intuitive tooltip to see the initial and end dates of your item while editing like this, as you can see. We also got a lot of feedback on how having the ability to hide. So if I click on the settings, to hide and to set workdays was something that was really necessary. So we have just added here. So the admin of the account can simply select the workdays and change to a Monday to Friday week or a Sunday to Thursday. So it's really great. This today indication is also something really great, and you can change things and group by like you could in the past. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm super excited to now present you our completely new Gantt view and widget. So let me go there. There we go. Even though it has a similar structure to the timeline view, the new Gantt was designed as a customizable tool to fulfill all the needs a project manager or PMO could dream of within the Work OS environment. It is a super intuitive view and widget that allows you to visually plan, keep your projects on track, and manage your progress. This is the initial release, and we are working on a few more amazing additions to this feature. Our design team has worked really hard to find the best ways to present your project dates in several complementary and beautiful ways. On the left pane right here, you can see the items listed by group and their timelines next to them. If you continue to the right, the same item will appear visually represented within the Gantt chart in a waterfall style. To make things even easier, we've added a line that goes from the first to the last date of the items, showing the passage of time right here. So the time that passed and the time left. And also this today's indicator really helps to understand where you are on this path. Even though in this example, I choose to group the items by groups, it is also possible to go to your settings and group them by color and differently depending of what you want to see. So this is the settings, and you can change it to make sure you know what's working on, what's done, what's waiting. You can also change what you see here. So you can maybe you want to see the status, and here you want to see the people responsible for each one of them. And also maybe you want to see the same colors that you have right here. And again, you can make those changes. And one thing that is great that the Gantt allows you is that you can click to show or hide the weekends on top of the easy access to the set work days option. And talking about adjustments, it's also important for me to show you how you can simply zoom in and out with the click to see the big picture or the details of a project. So this is where you can make those changes. So you can really go in and out. And another great thing is that you can choose to see them by days. So a very, very detailed perspective. And again, in and out, weeks, months, quarters, or years. So it really depends whether your project is just spanning a few days or it's a really long one that requires a yearly vision, which is not the case of mine. So let's say I'm here and I want to have more details and really take advantage of the space here. I can simply click on the auto fit. So it's going to zoom in to show everything that you need in the space available. How cool is that? Also, if you're in a different place, you can simply click today to come back to your today's date. I'm in love with this. and and if we think about long projects that span like many years or have a lot of different phases, needless to say that they often require a lot of adjustments in terms of dates, and this can become more and more complex as different phases or tasks within a project are depending on one another. So why our dependencies are not a new feature, I'll spend a little more time just recapping how to set up the dependencies in monday.com and how they are going to, and as they are going to prove to be very useful with the new Gantt chart. Okay, so let me first go back to my main table and add the dependency column. Perfect. After that, I'm going to come here on my automations and create an automation for this. And as I'm going here, for those who are not familiar with automations, this is probably one of the most useful features in the platform, which I strongly recommend checking out. Automations allow you to automate many aspects of your workflow, and there are many different types, as you can see right here. They work according to predefined recipes containing a trigger for the automation, like, for instance, a change of status, and that causes an action to happen, like archiving an item. Um, and for this case, since we are talking about dependencies, we'll choose from the dependencies section an automation ensuring that if we make changes in the timeline dates of an item, the dependent items will also shift. So let's go here and select this one, adjust date of an item to reflect the changes made in the date of its dependency item. So I'll select, okay, so once I created the automation, it automatically create this. So as you can see here, it was created a minute ago, but this is not exactly what I'm looking for. So I can simply delete this automation. I was making some tests before, as you can see here. Please ignore this mess. But let's go back to my dependencies and create the one that I want. So adjust the timeline of an item to reflect the changes made in the dates of its dependent item. Okay, cool. So now it's all set. I'll go back to my board and I'm going to start setting up the dependencies. So I want to say that this item here is dependent on the one above, which is the flower season. This other one, so on and so forth. It's really, really simple. And once you do it, it's all set. So this is really great. Oops, I clicked out. One more to go. Amazing. So we have everything set for our dependencies to work as they should. But before we move back to your Gantt view to see the dependencies coming live, for those of you who are already using the dependencies, we just made them smarter. Up until now, if you duplicate a group in a board with a dependency column, the duplicated item still referenced the original group and not the new group. Now, the values in dependency column are updated upon duplication. So let me show you how it works. So let me duplicate this. Just going to take a second. There it is. So if I change the name of this item, for instance, it also changes this one. Before it didn't, it would still refer back to this one. So this is a really great thing that we just added. Just delete the group because it's not relevant. Okay, now that we have the dependencies ready, I can go back to my Gantt view, and I'm super excited for this. But oops, I did something wrong. Oh, no. Let me just go back to my group by group. That's why. Now it's looking as it should. As you can see here, we have the long-weighted arrows indicating the dependency visually. And here, this thing is major. It's something that we all have been waiting for so long. So this is really great. And let me show our dependencies in action. So let's say this was pushed a couple of days. All the items that are dependent on it will also be pushed. Okay, so let me just, maybe I just need to wait a couple seconds. Sometimes they require a little refresh. There we go. It's all moving. So this is really, really amazing. And this is a major step and as you can see here, it also moved. This is a great step when you're talking about project management. And also, let's not forget that milestones will also show in your Gantt chart with the diamond symbol like this one. To set one up, simply go to your timeline column and select this option right here. So you can click and set as a milestone and it will change right there. Cool. And before we move on the next topic, I wanted to share more great news. This time we'll jump over a dashboard where you can see the Gantt widget that we've added. For those who don't know, the dashboard allows me to report on multiple boards at once. So another great improvement is that both the Gantt and calendar widget allow you to see the dates of any sub-items you might have on your boards. As the Gantt and timeline views still don't have this functionality. So you can see here, those are all sub-items. So, and to add the Gantt widget, you can simply be on the edit mode, add widget, and then type Gantt. And it will be simple as that. And you can select the sub-item option right here. How cool. I love dashboards. Also, guys, I see that there are a lot of messages in the chat. Please make sure to add the message to our Q&A. Julie and Jazz are already replying to some of them. And after that, after our set 30 minutes here, I'm also going to move there to answer some live questions. Okay, let me go back to my main table. I also want to share that our beloved board filters are now much more powerful. We kept our original filter that can be accessed by clicking here on the word filter. And here you could see your board based on several criteria and the results that met it all. So I could click items that this one or items by Noah, and this will show up on my board. And I hope this filter has helped many of you create amazing views in which you could easily spot the important information without the background noise. As a reminder, you can simply click here and save it as a new view. But now we took one step further and created a new board filter that gives you a lot more possibilities and can be accessed by clicking on the down facing arrow next to the other. So this is a little different, but has a lot of similar capabilities, but a lot of new ones. Majorly, it has conditions that vary for each column you have and allows you to select what you want. If you want your results to obey all criteria, example, using and condition, or at least one of them using the or condition. It can really help drilling your board down to get to the specific results you're looking for, making much easier to review and control your projects. So let me go in and show you an example. So let's say I want to see the status is any of working on, done, or future steps. There is no future steps here, so it doesn't really matter. And I want to add a new criteria that and the people assigned to it is not, oops, it's not assigned, so all items are assigned, is not Ariel. So I only have the ones for Noah and Teila. And of course, you can have or, so either is working on, done, and future steps, or they are assigned to Ariel. After that, of course, I can save it as a new view, and it's going to be here. Another great thing, specifically for dates, is that let's say I want to see items that they start this week, or items that start today. There is none. I'm good. Off the hook. Tomorrow, last week, this month, and so on and so forth. So there are really, really a lot of new possibilities here. The number ones is also really great. So equal, different, more bigger, smaller. It's not, it's empty. So I really hope you like this feature. It's something that it's really major. It's all those people who have like really big boards with a lot of items and really need to find the specific situations. This is for you and for everyone who just want to see things quickly. So I really hope you like, and you can use it. We are eager to hear feedback, and that's great. So I'll now go back to my board, and this board, actually, I'm still there, but not in the futures anymore, and present a future that was created to make everyone's life more colorful and every update more engaging. So we now offer different font sizes and colors for the text within the update section. Let me show you. It's already here. I was trying some things out before, but let me just say something here and show how you can change the size. You can change the color. You can even highlight some stuff. Let's highlight it here. And this is really, really great and really cool. I'm sure you all missed this function, so it's here. And another great thing is that you can resize images and move them around within the update. So let me add an example here. Monday's logo, or my logo, and I can drag it around and resize. So you can really use this update section to communicate what you need with your team, because even though this might look small improvements, it can really boost communication between team members, and it adds more hierarchy options and more visual weights to your messages. Also, it is a very fun feature, and I hope you all like using it. And I thought I was done presenting enhancements made to your update section, but I'm actually not. This one is for the Android users. You are now able to edit on the go any updates or replies directly from the mobile app. The ability to edit is currently limited to updates and replies originally created on the mobile app, but we hope that in the future this will include updates created from your desktop too, a much needed addition. So for this next part, I want to go back to my use case, the digital marketing agency, and show you my lead board. In the next couple of minutes, I'll explain its structure just to give you some context, as we'll then learn how to use two amazing brand new features to manage my leads and invoices. If you look into the board, you see that I'm using a mirror column connect to board column to pull my client's details from my CRM board, so I don't have to write the information again, which just saves me a lot of time. So if I click here, this is the card item. Perfect. but I show something even cooler later on. And also, you might remember that I had a mirror column on my project board that was pulling the DO stage status, and this is the original column right here. And when I created the mirror column on my destination board, I've also selected the option to add a link in this board, as you can see right here. And so I can easily see those items here linked on my project board. In other words, it is a two-way linkage. And before I continue to explain this board, I want to do a quick recap on how to connect boards and use mirror columns to bring information from the connected boards in case you're not so familiar with those or you just want to refresher. So let's click here, mark columns. Let's start by showing you how to create a mirror column. The first thing you're going to be asked is which board you want to connect to. So I already have this, but I'll just show you as a new link. I'll select the board. I want this to be connected to my Q1 project. And if you want to have this two-way linkage in which I have a link here on this original board and also on the destination, add a link column on the connected board as well. Once this is set up, I can come in and select which column I want to mirror. So let's say I want to mirror the people column, and I can click here and say, I want to see this item, this item, this item, and so on. I was not paying attention to those, so please disregard that they are not the same. But of course, if you make a mistake, you can always go back and select the correct one. So it is super easy. And the connector board, it's actually part of the mirroring, but it can be independent. So you can just simply click here and type connect boards and do the same process, but this time you're not going to have this mirror column. So this is really helpful. And I'll show you why in a second, not only because of the reasons I already showed you, but you're going to see more applications, which is really cool. And these last few columns I have here show me when this user was last contacted and help me manage my prices and costs. All the informations and columns I have on this board will allow me to follow the deal from negotiation to invoicing while having the CRM and projects boards all seamlessly integrated. Okay, enough introduction. Let's move to the new releases part. First, a small UX UI improvement, but one I think everyone will benefit from. I want to refresh your memory, as you might not even remember, but not too long ago, we did not have this horizontal highlight right here. That facilitates navigation of an item, and it's especially helpful in boards with a lot of columns in which you have to horizontally scroll to see the information. So now you can see them in a darker gray color. But if we're talking about features that will impact the way you see all the information within an item, I want to make sure you're seated as I will now present the item card app. With it, endless scrolling is something of the past, as it will gather all the data from your existing columns and display them in the form of a card. So to add this app, just go to your items update section and click here on Add View. From there, simply click on the item card and edit the widget. And you see that the app is a different tab right here within the update section. And this was added to all items on your board, but you can repeat the same process if you want to have it on different boards. And the item card is particularly useful if you're managing contacts or leads in a CRM or lead board like I am, but of course, it's also great in cases in which you just want to see all the relevant information at a glance. You can not only reorder it, but you can also select which columns you want to see and which you want to hide. And in addition to that, this app also includes a visualization of the linked items in a secondary board that you might have linked using a connector board like I have here. So as I have my CRM, my contact boards, as well my project boards, I have all the information I need to really understand this winter sale item. So I can see that was for this client and all the information about the client. And also I can easily see when this is planned for and the effort spent and more things. It's all about setting it up. Um, so I love how this item card is everything in a one place. So it really avoids having to go to one board and then coming back to this one. Now, let me present yet another amazing capability that we just added to our Work OS, which is going to make managing the work you do for your clients so much simpler. You can now generate invoices to your customers from within your Monday boards. This new app called Bill.it can be added to your board the same way as the item card app. So let's just click here, and I'm really excited to show you this. This is a really, really recent update, and it's really amazing. So let's go in and create a quote. This is my first quote. That's the date. This is about the winter sale. My company name is EHL. My address, Fifth Avenue. This is my example email. And now this is the coolest part. Let me just remove all the information that I had here before. And this is really great because all the information input to the bill too can be pulled from your boards, and not only this board, but also the boards that are connected to it. So if I need an information from my CRM board, there it is. So this is going to be, and just for this specific item, okay? So company name, everything is under the contacts board. So the company name's BB Beauty Makeup, and the customer name, this is going to be Invoice to Laura Bain. And I don't need the address, but I do need her email and her phone number. I also included my logo here. It's already there. I did it in the past. And the winter sale item it's just one. The price is 10K, and the total, I can preview it, and then I can simply download as a PDF. How cool is that? Um, this is a really big game changer. So I really hope you can enjoy it. Wow, that was a lot. Thank you so much for following along up to now. I know it was a lot of information. So as a recap, we are going to be sending you a recording of this presentation part of the webinar in the upcoming days, but please don't go anywhere because we still have, let's see, 30 more minutes in which I'm going to answer live Q&A questions that you might have. Of course, I'm not going to be able to answer them all because there are really, really a lot. If I don't get to yours, you can always email us and we'll be happy to help.